So I'm going to introduce you today to the Site Dialer. So what this device does is it takes notifications that you've been normally getting, so that's things like emails and texts, and it will turn those into a voice notification that you can receive on your phone. So you can get a phone call that'll tell you exactly what you need to hear in order to understand what's going on. Those messages are customizable, so you can make it say exactly what you need it to say, and you can acknowledge those notifications from your phone. So you don't have to log in order to make sure everybody knows that you saw it. And now I will be introducing you to the interface of the Site Dialer. So once you set up your Site Dialer with an IP address, you can web browse to it like you could with any one of our products. And you'll see the first thing you can do is test the POTS connection. So you can put in any phone number and you'd be able to dial it out. So I'm just going to use there, and we should be getting a test call any moment. So we got a really short test message, and that's mainly just to test out that the Site Dialer can dial out of whatever POTS line you've connected it to. So that's what it's mainly used for. From there, we can go to the system edit menu and we can change things like the username password if necessary, or the global call settings. If we do live outside of the United States, we can change that there and it will kind of change how it works for different countries. You can also adjust the Dcp Responder Settings like any of our other RTUs. So we've already set up the DCP unit ID, the port and the protocols for both, so we're good to go there. You're also able to make a backup of the configuration in case you need to put this on another Site Dialer. There's also Ethernet settings that we can change here. You can do this in the TTY session or you can do it on the web. Either way works. So those are there. We're also able to do a reboot from here. The system alarms are pretty standard for the most part, except for a few of them at the bottom here, and these are all especially made for the Site Dialer. Things like calls in progress, message ready, and all of this. These are kind of going off as the calls are being made. So once you have the Site Dialer set up, and then that's pretty much getting the DCP unit ID and the port set up. We can move on to the TMON to show off how we set this up there. So now we're in the TMON's edit menu, and what we want to do is set up a Site Dialer. So we can go here to devices and set up Site Dialer, and so we're using the older one for this. And I've already made it here, but as you can see, the only things I actually set up was just the IP address, the unit ID, and the port. The protocol was defaulted, and the group is something that I added for this demonstration. Once we have all this set up, we'd want to disable polling. We can also just test to make sure everything's good, which it is, and then we can just save any of our changes here. So now that we have the Site Dialer working, we have the TMON polling it. The next thing we'd have to do is set up notifications. So you'll learn how to set up notifications in the class. So I won't go over it too much, but what I will go over are the few differences. Once we set up the Site Dialer TMON, then we have to set up the notification. The only difference between setting up a notification for the Site Dialer and setting one up normally is a small change in targets and groups. So that'd be the first piece you'd want to change. And that would be just changing the type to voice. So once we've done this and we've given it a phone number, we're ready to do calls with the Site Dialer. You would still need to set up the weekly schedule and the profile, but this is the only change that pertains to the Site Dialer. So it's really quick and easy, and if you've already done this before, then this will be very easy to work with. So one of the really awesome things you can do with the TMON notifications, you can actually change how the voice is going to create the messages. So if you go to notifications and you go to voice message format, you can actually change how it's going to formulate the message here. So it's going to give me a date, the time, the level, the site name description, and the alarm status. And that's kind of the way I want to, that's all the information that I want whenever I have the notification come in. So you can change these however you want them to. I can change the alarm status to be the auxiliary name if it has one, or anything like that. I'll just change this to alarm ID here, and we can just save that really quickly and easily. So other than that, the only other piece we'd have to do is make sure that there's an alarm with a notification, which I've already set up over here. So if I go to this 832 that I have over here. So this is an 832 that I have set up already, and all I've done is I've created one alarm point that has a notification profile of 3, which is my cell, and that way I can get the notification. So let's go check out monitor mode to see how that works. So now we're in monitor mode, and this is obviously where you're going to spend most of your time. So I'm just going to show you what it's going to look like whenever you get an alarm that comes in. So this is the NetGuardian 832 that I had set up in TMON, and all I really want to do is make sure that when I trigger this alarm that I'm going to get the phone call. So what I can do is I can just switch the polarity here, go down to submit data, and so that will trigger the alarm because it is a normally open contact. So with that, we can head over to monitor, and we can see what that looks like on the TMON side. So we have the alarm now in TMON, and now and within a few seconds we should be getting a phone call with all the information that we wanted. Alright, so we're getting the phone call now. Put it on speaker.
Press any key to continue. Hello, this is TMON Site Dialer. Press any key to continue. Alarm status is alarm. Severity, critical. Description, A/C failure. At site, NetGuardian 832. Date and time, November 4th, 3:57 p.m. To acknowledge, press pound or press star
So
for
I'm just
more
going to press
options.
pound here.
Acknowledgement accepted. Thank you. Goodbye.
So now that I've acknowledged it through the phone, if we just give it a second here, it'll actually go away from the COS list. And if we go to the standing alarms list, we can see that I've acknowledged it here. Okay, and that was the Site Dialer. If you have any other questions about TMON or anything like, just let me know.